Ladies and gentlemen, huge news. I'm reading an Associated Press article. Trump-backed COX wins Maryland governor primary over Hogan's pick. Annapolis, Maryland. Dan Cox, a far-right state legislator, endorsed by former President Donald Trump, won the Republican primary for Maryland governor on Tuesday, defeating a moderate rival backed by outgoing Governor Larry Hogan. Cox will face the winner of the highly competitive Democratic primary in the November general. Wes Moore, a best-selling author backed by Oprah Winfrey, had an early lead Tuesday night with the focus starting to turn. Okay, so here's the issue. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it's a blue state, so he might not become governor. Hogan was a never-Trump, blue state Republican, similar to Adam Kinzinger. Okay, Trump is turning these people into dinosaurs and relics. There is no longer a Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan, George W. Bush Republican Party. It doesn't exist anymore. Okay? You belong in a museum if you're a never-Trumper who wants to go back to the days of Mitt Romney. It will never happen again. It will never happen again. You couldn't fit a library full of people to hear Mitt Romney or Paul Ryan speak. Maybe Mitt Romney could get a library. Paul Ryan, no. But enthusiasm, I mean, we'll focus for a moment on the enthusiasm and the electricity that Trump brings. We know that household median income was at an all-time high under Trump. I was watching a debate recently between a liberal YouTuber and Jordan Peterson, and the liberal YouTuber said, "Oh, Trump abandoned the working class because there was more outsourcing under his administration than President Obama's administration." It's like, well, okay, the outsourcing could possibly have also been tied to his last year in office, which had nothing to do with Trump. That was Andrew Cuomo, Democrats, Democratic governors, media, experts, bureaucrats who gleefully tanked their economies. That's another story. In 2019, household median income, so before the last year of his presidency, household median income was at an all-time high. Real wages were up, not down 4.4% the way they are now. GDP was up, okay? The tax cuts worked for everyone. Simply pointing to billionaires making more money from the tax cuts is the most absurd argument. Billionaires will make money in a recession, in a depression, with tax cuts. They'll always make money. It's not relevant how billionaires. If you look at the economy, like, I used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. I used to be the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. I support Trump because we had a great economy. Hundreds of thousands of new manufacturing jobs, and manufacturing jobs lost, about 200,000 lost under President Obama. So it was the Democratic Party that turned their back on working class or the average American, not Trump. Trump tried his best, and we had a great economy, record low unemployment, record low Black and Latino unemployment, 2% inflation, energy prices that were, gas was like less than $3. And so people were making more money, and they could purchase more things and live their lives without inflation cutting into their paycheck. That being said, please also subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel, the Nuclear Confrontation and Stock Market Crash channel. I have a segment on the upcoming mortgage crash and disaster that's awaiting this country. July 26th and 27th, the Fed will raise interest rates even more. We're in a recession now. We didn't have a recession with Trump. I'm talking about before Democrats, media, experts gleefully, and for our benefit, because, they take care of us, tanked the U.S. economy. The greatest economic sin, one of the greatest economic sins of all time. And then when they say, well, inflation is a global phenomenon. Yes, every country that tanked their economies and shut down economic activity and did away with capitalism now has 40-year highs in inflation. Okay? You don't even have to be an economist to realize that the policies of the Democratic Party, it's built on public relations. Like, for example, they don't talk about Medicare for all anymore. Why? They won't even vote on it. It is that was the biggest racket of all time. If it was affordable, if we could afford it, that'd be great. But there was one study done, you'd have to double to triple tax collection, okay? And you can point to studies that are favorable. There was one study done that wasn't favorable. It really doesn't matter because Democrats didn't even vote on it when they had the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Now we'll have Trump Republicans in the House and the Senate. But here, the reason that this was... So subscribe to this channel and also subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel. I have a segment right after this one. Definitely go there right now. It's in the pinned comment and description. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is below, ladies and gentlemen. Your support is greatly, greatly appreciated. The reason that Dan Cox winning means a great deal is the same reason that Carrie Lake in Arizona, she has a very good chance of becoming governor. You're looking at Trump completely revitalizing, rejuvenating, renovating, changing the Republican Party for the better. A populist Republican Party defeats Democrats. A traditional Republican and name-only establishment Republican Party will never defeat a Democrat again, ever. Mitt Romney would have lost by a landslide to Clinton. Trump defeated Clinton, like I said he would. I also predicted the stock market crash we're seeing. Go to the description section and you can see my segments in September of 2021 on this channel and the stock market crash and nuclear confrontation channel. I predicted all of this and I wrote about that in the Federalist. By the way, please share my Federalist article everywhere. It was published in October of 2021. Share that everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's below in the description and the pinned comment. And also, really quickly, I have 2 articles that you might like if you're into sports, one on Barry Bonds and one on Floyd Mayweather. Please go ahead and read those. Share those on Facebook or Twitter if you like them. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Twitter. I suggest everybody get off Facebook and Twitter. But if you like those articles, share them everywhere. Just different side of me that you might enjoy. But here you have Blake Masters, you have Herschel Walker in Georgia, you have a whole bunch of Trump Republicans that are going to completely take over. They're already taking over the Republican Party, but you're going to have Trump Republicans in the House and the Senate. Biden's going to get impeached, probably twice, definitely once. Okay, sorry, you can't have a voicemail, emails, 150 suspicious financial transactions linked to clear violations of the law, quid pro quo schemes. And there, you have to read the emails. If you read the emails, you will see there's a direct correlation between those emails and legal statutes that are broken. Now, really quickly, there was an interesting article I was reading on the Durham Pro Special Counsel in the Washington Post, and this was after Sussman was acquitted, and they said, well, they didn't get an indictment, so therefore it's meaningless. The Mueller Probe Special Counsel never got any indictments for collusion or working alongside Kremlin intelligence sources. The reason that the special counsel was created is to find out if Trump was compromised by another country. He wasn't. He was never working for another country. He was never installed by another country. The whole thing was a hoax. The Mueller Probe Special Counsel only indicted people because they allegedly lied to Peter Strzok, an agent who stated, "We'll stop Trump" in one of his text messages, and who was fired from the Bureau. Okay? Comey fired. McCabe fired. Strzok fired. And so they're all fired from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So tell me, an indictment or a conviction of somebody for allegedly lying to a government official who was there just engaged in partisan activity does not justify or legitimize the Mueller probe. Okay? We'll get to that. Kind of gives you exactly my point regarding the win for the Trump-backed candidate in Maryland. You're not going to have a Paul Ryan, a Mitt Romney, a Richard Burr, a Kelly Loeffler, and even a Kemp in Georgia. I mean, the reason Republicans lost Georgia is not because of Trump. It's because Republicans investigated a Republican president for 4 years. What do you expect? You have Democrats falling in lockstep all the time. You have mashed potato brains reading the teleprompter and 2 Democrats behind them barely containing their laughter. Democrats will fall in lockstep forever. It's Republicans who do themselves in by not just falling in lockstep with Trump, who had record low unemployment, real wages up, median income at record highs, inflation at 2%, gas prices at less than $3. What is there not to like about Trump's economy? Oh, you didn't like the wealth inequality? It's worse now. Poverty has increased. We have an economy that's worse in every way, shape, and form. Doha Agreement reversed failed U.S. foreign policy that Biden botched. Trump negotiated that, and he's the one who initially brought Americans home. Biden reluctantly did that because of Trump. A Republican would never have done that, or a traditional Republican. And so Abraham Accords that Biden is now good with, I mean, and then first president to step foot in North Korea, Trump was a great president, okay? The media melted down, and it was like in the most apoplectic and hysterical manner, like they're doing now. Now, there's a chance that they indict him just for the media coverage. He'd win any trial because he didn't commit a crime. That's why they haven't indicted him thus far. Clinton did commit a crime with top secret intelligence on private servers. Okay, Hunter and Joe almost certainly committed crimes. Those emails are very incriminating. But Trump's going to run. He'll be there in 2024. And this is a huge, huge victory for Trump. And it just shows you that the Republican Party is completely transformed. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts below. Go to the Stock Market Crash channel right now, and go to the Bitcoin 10K channel. I will finally do a segment today. Give me your thoughts.